accomplished thus far in my closet room, although this is not the final, but I have moved around a couple of shelves, just playing around with my arrangement. It's a little better. But yeah, my shoes, I ended up keeping this rack in here. Clothes I sorted through. But this is just an overview. This stuff here is my winter stuff that I need to store away. This here I need a dresser for. Yeah, but like I said, it's not the final, but this is what I've done so far.
Yeah, better when you mad me. Yeah, you got better when you mad me, admit it. You said you done trusting, but you did it. Move low key, but I really know you with it. Why you nonchalant when you really got them digits? I'm obsessed, I'm like, yes, ain't no stress. You the best, I'm obsessed. I'm like, yes, ain't no stress. You the best. Look, how you get so good at being modest, girl, be honest. You said you done trusting these niggas, made yourself a promise. I hate to make you take it back. I've been getting paid for rap, ain't talking about the drums. When I tell you I can make it clap, had to make you wait for that. You intrigued with conversation, you be moving dolo, I'm intrigued and I'm in admiration. I can gas you up, but I don't think you need the validation. Still you looking good, natural, without no operation. My old bitch tell you, your old.
Happy Sunday, everyone. This is a new day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it as I run into traffic. But I'm still going to rejoice because I'm alive and well. I'm alive and well. Y'all, I had the crazy experience yesterday. I went out to go to the store to pick up a few items. And when I got back home, along my steps, I have somewhat of a sidewalk leading to my doorstep with a layer of steps with a base, and then it's another level of stairs. Well, why did I come home yesterday? Actually, along the right side of my step area, why did I see a snake just sitting there or laying there? At first, I was in denial. I'm like, a snake in this area, which is, I don't want to say it's in a townhome development. And I'm like, is that really a snake? Well, y'all, it started moving. And at that moment, I realized, yes, that is a snake. So I called my better half to the door. And as I was turning around, I was so taken by the fact that there's a snake at my stairway that I didn't get the footage. But as soon as my better half came to the door, it started slithering. And along my steps is, I guess there's a hole. But anyway, it slithered down the hole, so it's on the base step of my entry, which is crazy to me. I am so terrified of snakes. So terrified. When I want to say I was 13, somewhere around that age, where I was at a sleepover at my cousin's, but somewhere in the course of the night, I recall her mother coming to her bedroom where we were, I don't think we were asleep, but I remember her coming to the door and she peeked in, and I remember her vividly saying that my mother was taken to the hospital. My mother and my father went to our neighbor's home, and apparently they got a new telescope and they wanted to go out and look at the stars and the sky adventures at night. But anywho, they were thinking that when they were walking to wherever they were going to set up with the telescope, that they brushed against some shrubbery, and the snake was in that shrubbery, and just as my mother was walking past, it struck at her and she got bit. So that was the reasoning as to how it all transpired. But like I said, ever since I can remember, I don't like snakes. Terrified of snakes. Terrified. Because she got bit by a snake. So me not knowing what's going on and being that young, I mean, I didn't know the seriousness of it. But my mother almost died. Her bottom portion of her leg was as big as her thigh area. And of course she was on different medications, antibiotics, and you know how that goes once you're going to the hospital for something like that. But yeah, but I don't like snakes. I am terrified of snakes. I know God has not given me a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. If I see a snake, I don't have a sound mind. And to be honest, seeing that yesterday, it makes me wonder, are there more? Where did it come from? Why me? Why couldn't it gone to any other neighbor's house? Although I'm sure it did to get to mine, because it's a row of townhouses. I want to say it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's either 5 or 6 units on each strip, and then there's a walkway in between each unit. Each set of 6 or 7 townhomes, there's an entryway. So it had to come from behind my home in the wooded area, but to get to my place, it had to bypass all the others, or either slither past the others to get to mine. But I'm glad I seen it. But the craziest thing is, I was telling my better half that last week, I have a habit of every morning getting up pretty much the same time. And my first thought is to go downstairs and get my coffee. Well, I've always, I don't want to say always, but last week, I had premonition, I don't know what you want to call it, but I kept thinking in my head, I hope I don't go down here and see a snake crawling on my counter. Why I was thinking that, I don't know. So I'm just wondering if that was God's way of saying that there are snakes out in my area. It's just funny how it all came together and how that played out with that scenario in my head on last week. But yeah, but it was crazy. But anywho, that's my little story for today. So I hope you all have a beautiful Sunday. It is 2:40 in the afternoon. I am headed to church. We have church at 3 p.m. on Sundays because another church occupies the building that we gather in on Sunday mornings. So until they relocate and find another church building for their congregation, we opted to take the 3 p.m. services on Sunday. So I'm headed to church, but nevertheless, I hope you all have a beautiful Sunday. The weather is nice. On my end, it's showing 69, 70, which is comfortable, nice, and a little breezy, but yeah. So I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday, like I said, and I hope you enjoy the vlog. God bless. All right, y'all, let's head into Goodwill. Who remembers this brand?